Christmas Day in the NBA was pure chaos.
Turning a three for the tie. Good! Anthony Edwards with 1.1 second to go.
The Joker and the Ant-Man went head-to-head in an epic overtime thriller. And Wembanyama vs OKC is getting personal. In New York, an unlikely hero emerged in the clutch, while things got pretty ugly in LA. We got all the action from 5 Christmas games right here. So let's start in Denver, where Nikola Jokic and Anthony Edwards cracked up the fireworks in the first quarter already.
Now, a year ago, it's the Olympics. A couple of years ago, it's coming back from injury.
Jokic late clock puts it in. So that's been the difference in this 10 out of 12 has been how he has led that defense as Ant-Man Edwards. There's Joker, another great pass. Jones in traffic, couldn't finish. Anthony Edwards, 8 points working, make it 10 in the first quarter for the Ant-Man.
Both guys started off hot, as Jokic scored 18 points on 6 of 8 from the field, while Edwards got to 14 early points on 5 of 7 shooting.
Joker falling away, got the whistle and the soft roll. Does it? Anthony Edwards' shot looks sweet tonight. Now trying to cover the Joker who gets by him. And the second effort by Jokic. Edwards, oh, pretty move on the up and under layup.
Back and forth like playing ping pong, Nikola and ANT led their teams in a tight game in the first half. However, in the third quarter, the Nuggets saw a chance for a separation, and they took it.
Denver with a 7-point lead in the ball. Murray gives them their largest lead of the night. Just gets better and better. He just says he's just unique. You know, he's a unique guy. There may not be anyone else like him. Murray puts it in. That'll be assist number 10. And for the second time on a Christmas Day, Nikola Jokic has a triple-double.
Literally going to the rim the last couple of times down the floor.
Murray for 3.
Besides scoring, Jokic got his teammates involved in the period with 6 assists, and suddenly they were up by 15 points.
Oh, they're only 9 and 5 here in this building. Oh, Peyton Watson with the Christmas delivery.
Nikola and Jamal were able to contain the 15-point lead through the middle of the fourth quarter as well, with some patented plays.
Denver in round 2 to reach the conference finals. Well, Jokic is back on the floor, and he just fed Jamal Murray for a 3. That's Nikola Jokic against Rudy Gobert. Puts it on the deck, into the lane. Hook shot, good for the big man.
But then, the leaders of the pack, Ant and Julius Randle, started clawing their way back into the game.
And now bringing him off the bench as Randle able to get the steal that time. Numbers for Minnesota. Julius with a left hand puts it in. He's got 27 points. They have trailed by as many as 16. Randle fouled and counted. Chance for 3 for Julius Randle.
An 11-0 electric run by Minnesota, with Randle scoring 7 of those points to cut the lead to 4. But after the timeout, Jokic bumped the lead back to 6 with this midi over Gobert. I swear, he's always putting these monster numbers against poor Rudy. Edwards didn't like that, so he decided to return Nikola's blow.
Before the timeout, does Minnesota have an answer? Behind the screen, Edwards with a 3. A foul called for landing in the zone. No whistle. Ant-Man attacks Joker and scores it on the layup. It's a 1-point game.
Wow, look at Ant going straight at the big guy for the tough bucket. He's not afraid of anyone. And I can say the same thing about Murray as well.
Murray for 3. Hits it! Jamal Murray with his 8th triple and a big one with 1:45 left.
He buries the bomb from downtown to give his team a 4-point lead, but later in crunch time, he commits 2 crucial errors. First on defense, fouling Edwards on the 3-point attempt here, who calmly knocked down all of his free throws. And second, on the offensive end, with time winding down, the bad pass to Jokic, which triggered the ultimate chaos.
Stolen, 8 seconds to go, down 3. They'll go for the quick 2 with 4.8 left.
DiVincenzo steals the ball and McDaniels dunks it in transition to cut the deficit to a single point. But now they must foul. Nikola Jokic goes to the line and stays cool to hit both free throws with only 4 seconds on the clock. So with the entire crowd on his feet, Ant puts the Grinch mask on because...
Bounds. Gets it in, turning a 3 for the tie. Good! Anthony Edwards with 1.1 second to go in regulation.
Edwards drills the unbelievable turnaround 3 to tie the game. And with no timeouts left, Jokic has to put up a one-handed heave at the end, which would have been a real Christmas miracle if it went in. So we're heading to overtime. And after coming all the way back from minus 15, the Ant-Man was determined to steal the game on the road.
A winner to close Christmas. Edwards stays hot using the glass to open overtime. Minnesota looked dead in the water in the fourth quarter. And now Edwards will get to the line with 4:10 to go, trying to build on a 2-point lead. 3 minutes to go and a chant of defense here at Ball Arena. But Anthony Edwards with a three-pointer.
A lightning-quick 9-0 run by the Wolves to leave the entire arena speechless. But only for a moment, because Jokic and Murray weren't gonna let their fans down on such a big holiday.
It's a rebound, they're trying to poke it away, they do. Denver new life, Hardaway for three. Yes! Back-to-back triples by the Nuggets. Joker feeling it. Hits another three. 44 points for the Joker. Seeing its first five, they've hit their last three. Jokic leaner, good.
Oh my goodness, the Joker is ridiculous. Such an amazing 11-2 run got the Nuggets back to square one, and Nikola actually took over the lead on the next possession by knocking down a couple of free throws. But here comes Edwards with the response like he did all game long.
Soda has two in their pocket. Anthony Edwards, the blow by the layup, it's good. And Edwards has 42 points.
Ooh, that could have been an and one. Regardless, Jamal Murray pulls one over him on the next play to send the crowd into a delirium.
Jokic setting the screen, Murray letting fly, hits the triple with 35 seconds to go in overtime.
This was Jamal's 9-3 of the night, a new Christmas Day record by the way. How does Ant respond? By throwing a risky pass to McDaniels that got stolen by Peyton Watson. The fans can taste the victory as Nikola drains a couple more freebies to give them a 4-point lead. But the lone wolf is not quitting just yet.
Edwards right to the rack with the flush. 25 seconds to go.
And dunks his 44th point of the night. But from that point on, what was a beautiful game turned into a whistle festival as the refs, led by the crew chief Scott Foster, took over the spotlight. That was a tech on Edwards for a second delay of the game for him touching the ball while Nikola was holding it outside the lines. And then a blatant foul call by DiVincenzo by Foster from all the way down there, as neither one of his colleagues called a thing, with the actual play happening right in front of them. Dante was obviously first to the spot, so as you would expect, the Wolves were fuming, and the ref squad hit both Chris Finch and Anthony Edwards with 2 more technical fouls. This resulted in a free throw marathon in which Nikola Jokic got away with 56 points and the win for Denver. In the absurdly long overtime, both teams combined for 50 points, 20 of which came from the foul line to set a new record for points scored in a single extra period in the history of the NBA. To finish the game on a light note, check out this ingenious marketing by Taco Bell.
Where did you get the shirt and the cardigan?
Yeah, it's a little beef that I have at Taco Bell. I'm joking.
The Joker might not have a beef with the burrito, but Wembanyama certainly does with Chet and the Thunder.
Better offense. Everybody's sharp offensively. Like you said, sharp offensively. On cue, Wemby, 13. Great two-way star, and that's going to be a foul against Wembanyama against Holmgren.
Wemby hits the end one over Holmgren and then fouls him hard on the other end. But listen to him yelling hell yeah after Chet missed the free throw.
You and I know these two have a lot of history going back to their days battling this.
And then he goes on and says there's no rivalry. Yeah, he probably thinks so because he's destroying them so far.
One right now. Sure feels like one. Wemby with an exclamation point just to let you know, by the three-point circle, one dribble pull-up, and a propitious roll.
Lou Dort had enough of Wemby, so he went dirty on him. On the rebound, he shoves Victor but also hits his knees, and what's worse, he gets away with it. Things are definitely getting personal between these two teams. In the first half, the Spurs were up by 9 points, mainly thanks to De'Aaron Fox, who had 21 points on 9 of 11 shooting. In the third quarter, they held the Thunder to 19 points on a miserable 27% from the field and 8% from downtown. OKC managed to hit only 1 3 out of 12 tries. That's wild. So naturally, the Spurs lead grew bigger.
National League as a teenager, as Wemby pulls one at the other end for 3. Wemby on the show and go. Inside, Harper! Oh, he said it with his chest! In rush hour traffic, Fox has a call! Oh, an emphatic follow by Keldon Johnson.
In the fourth, Wemby and company were able to control the lead for the third win in the last 2 weeks. Damn, the Spurs are really OKC's kryptonite, and Shea admitted that in the post-game conference.
They've beaten us 3 times in a row, so you can't use that as an excuse. They've been better than us 3 times now, so we gotta look in the mirror and figure it out.
Speaking of that, the Cavs look like the better team against my Knicks, especially in the third quarter when they mounted a pretty big lead.
Mitchell ooping the alley,
But
on
that's-
the big-time delivery from Garland.
That's exactly right.
19 points for Mitchell, 8 of 14 from the floor. Tyson, he got it.
Gotta be-
And Tyson with a huge third.
Yeah, you got to be shot ready, right?
Tyson, oh, the explosion all the way up the chimney.
Cleveland led by as many as 17 points early in the fourth quarter, thanks mostly to Jalen Tyson, who scored 11 of his 16 in the third period. However, Josh Hart and Jalen Brunson responded with a little 9-2 run to cut the Knicks' deficit to single digits.
Robinson again. Brunson a 3. He got it.
But this came at a great cost, as Hart fell awkwardly on the fast break and after hitting the pair of free throws had to leave the game for good. And then an unlikely hero stepped up for New York when they needed him the most.
The nuzzle, the floater short. Robinson, another aboard. Kolick wide open. You bet.
It's a game changer, Ryan. Multiple shots, all because of the incredible Mitchell Robinson.
Kolick in the corner, run off. Clarkson connects.
The three's starting to fall. The ball's starting to move.
Guess who? Robinson. Kolick again.
Tyler Kolek with 5 points and an assist to Clarkson for the 3 narrowed the gap to only 3 points. And he wasn't done writing his fairy tale because
Kolick, a deep one. Truth.
How about this young man? Getting minutes because 2 backcourt guys have been injured.
Garland ahead. Mitchell gets stripped, but fouled.
Kolek comes out of nowhere to spoil Spider's dunk attempt and gets called for the foul. But after the challenge, the refs overturn the call and reward Tyler for the phenomenal block. Then he gets the huge defensive board and finds Bridges on the break, who puts the Knicks in front.
Kolick the control. Knicks can jump in front. Bridges the pull-up. Indeed.
Darius Garland was able to stop the frenzy in the building with a quick layup, but only for a moment.
20 points, 10 assists for Garland. Brunson the pull-up. You bet! On the drive, the fade. Can't hit Towns. Storms in for the putback.
Brunson and Cat with the huge putback layup puts the Knicks up by 4 with less than 30 seconds to go. But Mitchell wouldn't give up just yet.
Mitchell trying to make it happen. Mitchell, my goodness! Put the whole Holiday on a poster.
Donovan brings the house down with a ferocious slam, and I gotta replay this for you from a very special angle.
Mickey down the lane! Oh my goodness! Hot dog! A magical dunk by Mickey Mouse.
This was the Disney Christmas theme stream that went live with Disney characters instead of the real players. We got this last year as well, and I still don't know how they were able to pull this off. This is next level. Back to the real world, the Cavs wanted to play pressure defense, leaving OG Anunoby unguarded under the basket.
Bridges the touch pass. Anunoby, the slam.
So up by 4, Mitchell Robinson gets fouled, and I already knew that he was missing them both, but I'm wondering why aren't his teammates back on the defensive end on time?
Bounces ahead. Mitchell has to get it off. Does. Hits.
A wild 3 by Spider to make it a 1-point game. So with 2.4 on the clock, all the Knicks need now is to inbound the ball to a solid free throw shooter, which they finally do as Karl Towns knocks down the first free throw. With Cleveland out of timeouts, he misses the second, but Mitchell cannot do anything about it as the Knicks hang on for the win. May the celebration begin.
That'll do it. The Knicks with their largest comeback of the season. It's a very merry Knicksmas here at MSG.
On the contrary, there was no celebration in Los Angeles as the Lakers got demolished by the Rockets in a wire-to-wire blowout.
Find Şengün, alley-oop, and Thompson throws it down. As good as it gets for the Houston Rockets. Now Smart comes to help out. Durant drills a three-pointer, his second three. Good job defensively. And a turnover, number 14, Eason, Durant, up to Thompson, and down it goes.
Kevin Durant and Amen Thompson combined for 51 points on 60% efficiency, which got Luka Doncic frustrated in the fourth.
Doncic got called for technical legs. That's going to be his 8th technical of the season. Remember, you start to get suspended at 16.
Well, you can't do the double hand wave at the ref. That's the respect of the game. That was 100% a foul by Luka. This is pure frustration.
I'm saying what I say, but it had nothing to do with what he said.
Luka waves off the ref after an obvious foul on KD, earning himself an immediate tech, and KD smiled in his face like he knew it was bound to happen. At the end, JJ Redick was understandably mad at his players.
It's a matter of making the choice, and too often we have guys that don't want to make that choice. And it's pretty consistent who those guys are. I told the guys, it's going to be uncomfortable. The meeting is going to be uncomfortable. I'm not doing another 53 games like this.
The Mavs were hit with a similar fate in San Francisco.
The joy of getting a chance to play on Christmas as Horford knocks down a three-pointer.
Very active offensive rebounder.
Horford connects on a three. Horford gets a good look. Hits again. Three from Horford again.
And another disaster struck them when Anthony Davis tried to run a fast break.
So I think there's another turnover, by the way, a good defensive deflection.
Anthony Davis, not sure if what happened there. He just ran to the sideline.
AD left the game with a groin injury and didn't return, as Golden State used a 64-point outing from their second unit to control the game from start to finish. The tale of the night was Steph Curry rocking the signature shoes of Klay Thompson, who received a warm welcome in the Bay Area. And the guys in the studio were having a blast as well when Shaq, wanting to beat Kenny to the board, ran through the LED screen.
Oh yeah, so you ain't cool. You ain't cool.
Man, kudos to Shaq and the entire crew for pulling off that stunt with the cracked screen and all. That is peak show business right there. What an exciting day it was. And if you want more NBA magic, check out my last throwback video of the most hostile Christmas game ever. It was 2004 when Shaq came back to LA for the first time since the breakup with Kobe. That's it for now, and talk to you in the next one. Peace out.